Welcome to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Dan Austin, and it is once again my pleasure to bring quality programs to all of you. I am so excited to be back here again in 2019 because this is definitely has been an exciting moment for me coming back in year 4 for the BMWOC podcast, having amazing people on here, almost 60 people this year. Can't do it without these folks. I'm so proud and happy to have them. And today we have another amazing individual who we're going to be talking to today. And just in case you did not know what the BMWOC is about, we are just unifying everyone from around the world, whoever you are. It doesn't even matter because we are all people of color, and we are talking about how business and career is affecting our lives, how we are shaping and evolutionizing different careers in business. So you definitely want to stay tuned and check out all the pages and listen to the podcast interviews so that you can get information about your chosen career or business. Then make sure you have a pen and paper. In addition to all of that, we are also giving away 7 BMWOC awards to 7 lucky individuals who is going to be getting these awards. So we need you to like, share, and vote for your favorite to keep them in the running. Now, before we get into our interview today, I would first like to take a moment to thank our corporate sponsors who are My Financial Home, Evangelism Radio, J&F Enterprises, Sears Consulting, Autism Families Rock, Awakening to Love, Eli Natoli, Kimberly McLemore, True Synergy, and Platinum Financial Services, along with our other participants who are making this season a huge, huge success. So today we have an individual over here that's all the way from Canada. Her name is Maggie Perotin, and she is the owner of Stairway to Leadership, which is a consultation company where she helps with people management. And she's going to be telling you more about that. She is also the director of operations and service excellence for a facility management industry, which she is also going to be telling you more about that. In her position as a director of operations, she leads a team of 25 people in tech services that supports more than 320 skilled trade employees. And this is something we definitely need to have a concept of this or a conversation of this in this podcast because we need more tradesmen. And I cannot wait to talk to her. So while you guys are reading her bio and all her background, we're going to get right into this interview. Welcome, Maggie, to the podcast.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be part of this.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So, so tell me, in your bio it says you migrated from Poland to Canada. So what was that experience like? And, what was your interest when you grew up?
So the idea of me immigrating to Canada actually came from a university friend. She told me about Canadian immigration policy for skilled workers. And because at that time in Poland, my generation was a spike in the population, and we had a hard time finding jobs or decent jobs. I decided to apply. I spoke English and French, which are 2 national languages in Canada. And I got a permanent residence. I was young, no strings attached, and decided to move. I've never been to North America before, but jumped in, got some help from friends and family. And it was probably one of the best decisions I made in my life to move. So that's kind of how I came to Canada.
Okay. All right, awesome. So what type of skilled trades did they have at that time when you were applying for the job? Can you kind of give us an idea what type of jobs they were?
Yes. So the skills or what the government was looking was really the knowledge of the language, the adaptability, your education. So in Poland, I had a master's degree in international relations, which was really a combination of economics, a bit of HR, and some law, mostly European Union, but international law. So when I started applying for jobs in Canada, I actually, came across facility management industry, and through through an acquaintance, got interviewed for the operations center. And what it is really, it's like a call center, but it's an inbound call center where, clients of an outsourcing facility management company call to report issues with their buildings. So, you're working away in an office and you have a problem with a light or a toilet. And if your company outsourced those services to a company like ours, like for example CBRE in US, then they call in, the operations center takes the call, logs it in, and then sends it to a vendor or a tradesperson to go and fix. So because I was bilingual, they always look for bilingual people. I got an interview and I got a job. Somebody took a chance on me, and that was my first job in Canada.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, did you have any challenges, I guess, being promoted over time because you ended up becoming director? So, can you speak on any challenges that you faced being a female in this position?
I sometimes, yes, I have to say, because this, first of all, this particular industry is very technical. So there was a lot of, and especially in the company I work for now, as a director, it's really engineer based, and I'm not an engineer, and I'm a female, and it was dominant. It's changing now, but it's still male dominant industry. So sometimes, you have to, as a woman, you have to deal with that disbelief that you can actually understand the industry. And even though you're not an engineer, with the experience that you've gathered throughout the years, you still understand, what you're talking about, and that you've gathered technical knowledge, maybe not through education, but experience and hard work. So, there were moments in my career when I had to prove myself in a
You had
way.
to prove yourself.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
the reason why I was asking, because I know that there's a lot of different areas in which women, particularly, are working in technology or some sort of skilled trade, and that has been the new conversation over the last year or so, where we having more minorities or more women
Mm-hmm.
in skilled trade occupations. And so, just first of all, congratulations on just making it that far in the career, because we don't hear about many women being in a skills, trade type of industry, or
Mm-hmm.
being a director, whether you US or Canada, we just don't hear about that type of stuff. So, can you share with the audience maybe some of the things that you were able to use as a coping mechanism to, to keep going and to keep striving until, you got to where you are comfortable in the
Mm-hmm.
position? Hmm.
Yeah. One thing is me, I call myself sometimes a rebel, trying to prove people wrong. And, one story I have with that is not that long ago, actually. A few months ago, with my VP, we're going through some billing, and the client, it was new client, new process of billing, and we needed to review it. And, there was a lot of raw data to review, and there was a few of us in the room. Of course, I was the only woman. So, the VP started dividing and conquering, saying, okay, you, John 1, do this, John 2, you do this. And he didn't ask me to help. And so, I spoke up and say, I want to do it. I want to help. And he's like, oh, really? I don't think you can do it. I'm like, yes, I can. I have experience. This is what I've done in the past. Of course I can. So, evidently, but he allowed me to review portion of the billing. And then, after I submitted my review, it was actually probably more detailed than the other gentleman. And through that, he also learned some of the things and said, oh, we should look at this and look at that. And he admitted that, oh, in a way, you did a good job, and I didn't expect that. So sometimes, just raising up your hand and saying, I want to do it, even though people don't believe in you, just to prove them wrong, pays out. And just, being consistent and persistent and believing in yourself.
Right, definitely have to believe in yourself a lot. I think
Mhm.
that's like the
Mhm.
biggest thing too, and that's even hard too. And I ask these questions not to stir up, a lot of drama, but just to kind of bring out the challenges for anyone
Mhm.
who's looking to get into this field, whether you're man or woman or what have you. I think there's always challenges to a position, whether you are being accepted and people want to listen to you, or maybe everybody likes you. But I do think that going into the skills trade industry is something that people should really think about. So let's talk about some of the more positive things. What is the most positive thing that you find working in the skills trade or facility management industry?
One of the positive things is that's really it's not boring. I'm a person that likes variety and likes challenges, and this industry is definitely challenging and it's never boring. There's always something new. It's changing fast. So that's something that really kept me in the industry and kept me interested and challenged. So that's definitely positives. And for me, it's also people. We do have great people working, and a lot of talent, and that's always something that as well keeps me motivated, keeps your brain challenged. You learn a lot from everybody. So that's another thing that's very positive.
Okay, fantastic. And so out of this, somehow or another, you were inspired to start your organization, Stairway to Leadership. What
Yeah.
was that thing that moved you in that direction to start your organization?
So it was really realization that sometimes, and again, it's coming from that technical type of industry, that there isn't sometimes enough attention on people skills and maybe on in leaders in management positions, so on. So very often people get promoted or chosen to lead people based on their technical ability. Okay, you're a great engineer and you're a great individual contributor, now there you go, start managing the team. And what happens is that then people realize, oh my god, it's a totally different job. And either they raise up to it and they do a great job if they have that natural tendency sometimes to do it, or they struggle and they start hating it, or they think that it's that it's that it's not part of their job and treated like something on the side of the desk. But for me, really, when you become a leader, your main job is to lead the people, because now it's not just about you. You're not longer an individual contributor. It's about them. Their success is your success. And what I've seen sometimes is that some people are bad leaders, and that affects their teams negatively. And when you lead people, you affect not only the person, but you affect their family. You affect a human being, and ultimately you hurt your company, because if you have it's a team that's not performing well, or they're hating their jobs because you're leading them not great, um, your company loses, your clients lose. So realizing that, and then also the realization that I made is that the leaders that are maybe not skilled, it's not that they're bad people. They're not bad people. They just don't have a skill. So for me, that came through my passion, and it's for me to help people realize that you can learn those skills. My tagline is, leaders are made, learn to be a great one. You can learn that. So it's just
Hmm.
about investing in yourself,
Hmm.
learning, and realizing that through people your
Hmm.
business will give results. If you
Okay.
focus on your people, you
Hmm.
will get the results that you want in your business.
Wow. You touched on something that resonated with me when you said that they may not even know that they are doing
Mhm.
something bad. So
Mhm.
maybe share maybe two top things that maybe people need to recognize when they're becoming a bad leader. Not saying that they're like bad, but maybe doing things that could, like you said, affect an individual and they not even know. So what are some of the signs that they can recognize in terms of being a bad leader?
one of the sign I would say, if people stop bringing issues, if they're not
Mm,
talking to you, if they're not bringing the issues, or they're not
mm,
even giving you ideas of improvement and
wow.
so on, when
Hmm.
people become quiet, there is
Mm,
something wrong. Something wrong. Like, you should have a team that is excited and passionate about the business, meaning they care. So when they see something wrong or they see opportunity to get improvement, they should come to you. They should be excited about it, telling you, hey, I found this new way, or hey, like this doesn't work. We really need to fix it. So when that stops, it's a sign. And, the next sign is when your good people are starting to leave. You
wow.
you you always have turnover. If the people are not fit for the position, that's a good turnover. But when you have good people starting to leave, or a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them, then that's another sign there's something wrong.
Jeez. Well, you can't get more obvious than that. I think those are
Yeah.
definitely two things that people can do to recognize if they're a bad leader. I kind of want to add one to the list as well, and it's going to piggyback a little bit on communication.
Hmm.
Um, just really embracing someone's idea into the
Hmm.
mix, or sharing, cross sharing information, because a lot of times people, they want to be productive, they want to
Yep.
feel that they are being, fulfilled in their
Hmm.
position, whatever they're doing. But when they feel included in knowledge sharing,
Exactly.
I
Yes.
kind of want to add that to the list. And I think that also goes, if you really think about it, we kind of created a triangle of things. If
Hmm.
someone is not being able to be included, then they stop
Hmm.
talking, and then
Right.
eventually they will leave. And I think that any manager that is looking for their business to grow, that they can do that. But of course, it all depends on the culture of the business and all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty sure that you have worked with many organizations to help with that, right?
Yep. Yeah. Like, it does depend on the culture, and as you say, and it's up to individual leader, because that's where it starts, right? To ensure that you're including your team members, that you're making sure that they feel safe to speak up and talk.
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So, what other services do you provide with your coaching?
So through my coaching, as we spoke, leadership, like for people management skills, for the leaders, for the middle managers, as well as um, individual coaching for as well for the leaders, because really it starts with you. It starts with self-awareness, knowing exactly what am I doing, maybe, or what I need to improve on to make sure that I'm helping my team become greatest, right? And maybe it's the way I'm giving them feedback. It's not working, or maybe I'm not giving them feedback at all. So I need to know that, or maybe you know, it's the way I lead meetings. Maybe they're unproductive and get people frustrated. Maybe some people are not included because I'm not even realizing I'm not giving them a chance to include, or maybe I don't know my team well. So self-awareness, time management, making sure that you have time to meet with your team. As again, as managers, whether we're business owners or managers in a corporate, in a corporate environment, we always have other things to do, right? People management is not the only thing that we do. So very often we tend to put that to the side of the desk. And that's probably one of the most important things we need to do. So making sure you manage your time and you're as productive and efficient as possible, knowing how to work smart, knowing what's important as opposed to urgent. Again, very often it's easy to get into
Hmm.
that cycle of urgent, urgent, urgent. I just extinguish the fire and I'm not doing what's really important for my business or for my organization.
Wow.
Um, yeah, yeah. Processes as well,
I mean, you're going on. I mean, you're powerful right now, Maggie. I mean, honestly, I don't even want to stop you right now, because what you're saying is just so powerful that I hope people are really listening to that, because a lot of times, even when you're a small business, I always say it does start with you. You're sort of like the whole entire team in
Mhm.
itself. And
Mhm.
time is the number one thing that we cannot control. But what we can control is how we manage time and how we are
Correct.
able to master the things that we're doing, so that when we have staff or subordinates, or even working with contractors or vendors, we know how to communicate and build relationships going forward. So, loving everything that you're saying right now. So, I hope everybody is catching all this down. And if not, you need to catch the playback and hear that all again, because Maggie is on the one in terms of, leadership. So, let me ask another question, which is going to kind of change the scope of the conversation. Is are you involved in any kind of activities or like workshops or events in which you are, speaking about your organization and what you provide?
You know what? Not as much yet. I'm just starting. I started my organization really very early this year. The whole idea came, in the last quarter of last year. So I'm starting. I am actually this week. I'm actually going to volunteer and help with at here at the University of York to judge um, students' final projects
Okay,
on business development and so on.
nice.
So I'm going to do that. I do have I do volunteer, and that's not really with my business, but that just as a way to give back. I'm really a big believer in giving back and making sure that we contribute to the communities we live in. So I do volunteer at a charity that supports women. It's a multicultural women's counseling and resource center in an area that I live. So that's something that I'm also passionate about.
Well, it sounds like you are. It definitely sounds like you are. So, why don't you answer this one question and then give everybody your email and contact information? So,
Yep.
personally and professionally, what do you need to thrive and keep doing what you're doing? What do you need?
Personally and professionally. I need, I guess, contact with people. I really love people, and being able to do that's my passion. So contact with people, being able to help. That's as well, whether it's professionally or personally. Being able to help and inspire people, and knowing that what I'm doing. Sort of helps and makes a change in people's lives. And again, whether it's through my work as a leader, whether it's through my coaching, as my business, or personally, that's for me. I
Okay.
helping.
And yes. And so give them your contact information so they can get in contact with you.
All right. So my contact information, my email is Maggie at stairwaytoleadership.com. So Maggie at stairwaytoleadership.com. Or my phone number is 1-905-995-3612. 1-905-995-3612.
Awesome. So, everyone who is listening to this podcast, if you like this interview, please like, share, and vote for your favorite podcaster. And she is on fire. As you can tell, she has a lot of knowledge in terms of leadership when it comes to an organization. So, if you're interested in hiring her to come out and do an assessment or even just do a workshop, just click on her information below or give her a call per the number that she just said, and get in touch with Maggie. And don't forget that we are giving away awards. So, if again, vote for your favorite. If you like Maggie and you want her to win one of these awards, make sure you listen to the whole thing and then vote. And then also tell people about it and check out all the other podcasts so that you can see who else is on here. And with that, I want to thank you, Maggie, for being on the podcast and being part of the movement to represent business leadership.
Thank you so much, and I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome.